Hi, Jules Strawberry here, and I am so thrilled. I received fan mail from a 7-year-old. Y'all, this is too adorbs. Dear Julie, my name is Brennan. I am 7 years old. I am writing you because my mom works at Collins Aerospace and we got to see the spacesuit today. Thank you for bringing it. Well, you're welcome. It was shipped separately. However, it did coincide with my visit, so I'll take credit for it. It's 280 pounds, y'all. It's a little bit big to fit in my suitcase. But thank you for, anyways, I'm glad you liked it. If you could go to any planet, which one would you go to and why? Now, I really had to think about this one. I like to see Venus, of course. It's mostly gaseous. I mean, it's got a really caustic atmosphere, so it wouldn't be too much fun. So then I started thinking about Jupiter. Jupiter is a gas giant, and no one has ever seen the surface. So I'd like to go and swim through Jupiter's dense atmosphere and see if I can find the surface. I think that'd be fun. There's also a storm there called the Red Eye, and I'd like to go check it out and see if it's more like a tornado or a dust storm. I'm really interested to find that out. However, then I thought, why stop there? Why not go all the way to Neptune and explore the furthest point in our solar system? So it'd be cold, sure, and it might be dark, but you know, it'd be interesting and it'd be something to talk about at a party. But then I thought, if I go that far, why not go even further? So there is another system called the Trappist System, and Trappist was actually named after some monks. Really interesting story, not the point of this talk. So the Trappist System actually has 7 different planets around the sun, and those 7 planets, there's at least one in the Goldilocks Zone. Now the Goldilocks Zone is a zone around a sun that is not too close and not too far. Remember Goldilocks? She tasted the porridge and she said, this one's too hot, this one's too cold, and this one's just right. Well, the Goldilocks zone around a sun is the zone where life could happen. So Earth is in the Goldilocks zone around our sun, for example. So Trappist has planets there. I would like to go to Trappist and see if there's life on one of those planets. Now let's talk for a minute about how we know there are planets around a sun that is so distant. When there is a planet passing in front of a sun, the light of the sun dims, or the star, let's just say star. The light of the star dims. So whenever we stare at a star with a telescope and we see it dim, we know that there's a planet. Now if we see it dim different times, different brightnesses at different times, then there may be more than one planet. And so there are some astronomers that spend enough time looking at the star in the Trappist system that they discovered 7 different planets. Isn't that amazing? Love it. Okay, so final answer, I would go to a planet in the Trappist system in the Goldilocks zone. Next question, how long did it take to make the suit? She's referring to the spacesuit here. It's hard for me to answer that because the spacesuit is modular. There's an upper arm assembly, a lower arm assembly. There are gloves, 52 different sizes of gloves because each astronaut gets sized. And then there's small, medium, large boots. There's lower leg assembly, upper torso assembly, lower torso assembly. Anyways, it's modular. We don't just sit down and make a suit, right? So it can take a really long time to make a suit. Some components that go in the backpack, the Portable Life Support System, the PLIS, which is the backpack that the astronauts wear that has a lot of the electronics in it. Some of those components take 18 months to build. Sorry to give you a long-winded answer, but the But the short answer is at least 18 months to make a suit. Probably closer to 2 years, because after we receive all the components, we have to assemble them, we have to test them, and make sure they're safe before we actually allow an astronaut to get into them. All right, and then my friend said, please write me back. Girl power, I am a girl. That is awesome. I love to hear about other people who are excited about science, but we definitely need more young ladies in engineering. Only 15% of engineers are females. That just blows my mind. And my friend made me a drawing. It is so sweet. It is a rocket, and on the rocket there is me, the artist, my mom, and you. Jules Strawberry is in the picture. This makes me so happy, y'all. So thank you. Thank you for writing me this letter. Thank you for the great questions, and I'll give you some bonus answers that you didn't even ask about. You asked how long it took to build the suit. Now I'm going to tell you how much it costs to make the suit. It costs about $12 million by some estimates. Now why is that? Part of it is that the suit is made of 11 different layers. Yeah, 11 different layers. There's a bladder layer that's like a balloon, and then there's a restraint layer to hold that balloon in, that rubber layer in, and then there's a reflective layer to reflect out radiation. You wear sunscreen whenever you go outside to protect from a sunburn, right? So instead of sunscreen, we use reflective layers to reflect the sun's light so that the astronaut doesn't have to wear sunscreen and is protected from radiation. And then there are some other layers to protect from things like micrometeoroids. So that's why there are 11 layers of the spacesuit. Spacesuit is also hand-stitched, a lot of it is. And so you can imagine if you were sewing by hand, it's going to take a lot longer than if you could put something on an industrial sewing machine, for example. Another reason that it takes so long and costs so much to create a spacesuit is because of the specialty nature of those items. There's high oxygen content going through the pipes, and so those pipes have to be compatible with oxygen, so they have to be a special material, a special metal that won't oxidize or rust, right? And has other special engineering considerations. And think about it, all of these things have to work in the vacuum of space. So you can't just use WD-40 on it, you can't use regular grease, you actually have to use special lubricants. So all of these considerations go into designing electronics and such for space. All right, maybe I rambled too much there. The weight of the spacesuit is over 200 pounds. I've heard estimates from 240 to 280, depends on the size, of course, but whew, that's a lot of weight. That's like how much a daddy weighs, how much, you know, a really tall woman weighs. So you can, so if it was on Earth, it'd be very hard to walk with that. 160 pounds approximately for just the backpack alone, for the Bliss alone, and another 100 pounds approximately for the soft goods and the helmet and the computer on the front. Yes, that's a lot of weight. However, remember they're used in microgravity on the ISS and will be used on the moon one day, which has 1/6 the gravity of Earth. Well, Brennan, that's a lot of information, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for your fan mail, and I hope to meet you in person the next time I'm in your city. If anybody else has a letter or has questions, please shoot me an email. I'll put that email address in the comments. JulesRulesStrawberry@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in, and happy innovating, everyone.